What's your team like? Because it's not just you. You've actually built a team around you as well.
I've built a team. Team's really, really good now. I've had teams in the past, and I kept my second PA for 7.5 years, and she was really, really good. And it's, I hope she never sees this, but I must say that picking up my new PA, which was a year ago, just the ideas and the drive and wanting to see her succeed has just been outstanding. 9 months ago, I basically picked the two of them up at the same time. 9 months ago, I took on Jamie, who was a buyer's agent. That has just transformed my business. Absolutely, 100%. I was doing 8 to 10 sales. Now we're doing probably 13 to 15 consistently every month. So the buyer's agent thing has been a really, really big change to me. It's enabled me a little bit more time with my children and my wife, which I did miss out on the first time round. When I say first time round, not being married before, but my first daughter. So yeah, it's just been a brilliant thing for my business to do it, and I've had to let go, and I'm okay with that, and it's just moving forward really, really well.
Okay.
So
your session was really well received yesterday, and one of the things you touched on, two things. The first thing you touched about are just doing the little things different in your area that your competitors are prepared not to do, i.e. pre-listing kit. Can you just give us a summary of your thought process, maybe a few tips?
Yeah. My belief is, look, I'm not into all the electronic stuff. Sorry, Greg, but I'm not. Okay. It's not my forte. I have PAs. I've hired people to do that type of stuff. My thing is just getting down to the nitty gritty. I do believe that people see a successful person or see someone doing well or see a new person, and they don't expect you to be something totally different to when you actually get there. So when you walk in, I feel that it is still a person business. I feel that it is face-to-face contact. The little things are pure and simply, I always do pre-list kit. I always book the appointments from the afternoon backwards to enable me to make sure I have the time in the morning to be able to do follow-up. So there's always follow-up. There's always ringing ahead to make sure they know that I'm coming. There's always asking them if my shoes are okay. Like when I get to the door, no matter how much of a dump the place is, I will always ask, can I wear my shoes in the home? Would you like me to leave my shoes out? I just feel agents they're missing the small things. They're turning up in the BMW all shiny, pulling in the driveway like you know what I mean? Like those people need them. And I think you do have to have that belief. I mean, I 100% believe that I am more worth to them than, unfortunately, what they are to me. And that's I know that doesn't sound right, but I do believe that I am the best person for them to sell their home. So I just, it's a big thing. If you're not, I 100% believe if you don't have to do everything, but there is always going to be someone that does. So make sure you have something that can bury those people that do. That's the way that I believe it works. There's lots of stuff I don't want to do, but when I'm in there, I will say something to trip up the person that follows me who is doing it. So, everybody's got their style, but that's what's working for me. Listings are good. I believe you can list any property that you want, but you do have to step outside of I think people get ahead of themselves, and I'm the agent and I'm this. If I want something, I will sit with someone and say, this is the type of listing I sell. I believe in your listing. Your listing needs to be on my books because this is the product I love, and you just need to tell me what I need to do that. And I don't say it at every listing, but if there is a listing that I want, I've got no problem telling them that their listing is the most important thing to me.
Yeah. And I know Western Australia market is fairly strong. I don't know how strong it's pushed down in the regional Mandurah, but how do you deal with the pricing issue when you get to the price of they want X and it's worth Y? And that's an issue that everyone.
It's an issue. Look, I think it's an issue in any market. At the end of the day, I believe you have to mould with the market. People, the market's down, we've got to do this. The market's that. I think you just have to. When the GFC came, and I'll get to your question. When the GFC came, nobody seemed to catch on and shift with it. The way that I was doing appraisals when the GFC came is I said, right, at this very moment, you are 400. Okay, the market's dropping, you know it, I know it. It's going to slide past 400 if we are on for 3 months. Let's hit the market at 390, 395, 389. Get below it before the market slides past you, because then you're going to be old. We were the only agency at that time that did that. We trained all our guys to do that. We were doing 60 sales a month. When everyone else was taking a listing at 400, the market slid below it. They missed it, and they weren't getting below to beat it. So I don't believe the market is the market. I just believe you have to have a different delivery with the market, and I believe you just have to believe in what you do, but give them options on how they can get out if that's what they want to get out. It's like even now appraisals. But as far as how the market in Mandurah has obviously been pushed a lot. I mean, we've had canal homes have basically halved. You know, so you're dealing with people who stand to lose $800,000 from when they bought it to when they're selling it. I've forgotten your question. Once I get going,
but that's part of the pricing issue. You dealt with it.
Yeah.
The other issue is, when your communication.
Yep.
You talked a lot about your communication. Once you list the property, how do you handle it? What's your philosophy around your communication around your client?
Yeah. Okay. So I believe there is a process, and unfortunately, a lot of dialogue that people use doesn't really match the dialogue that they used at the start. Okay, so I believe that everything from the moment that I sit and list a property, I have a process, and that process and I don't know how long you want to go with this, but that process at that point is to say to someone, right, there's a group of buyers right now looking in your area, and they will find your home within 2 weeks. So if I don't get any phone calls off the sign, there's something wrong. If I get a lot of phone calls off the sign and nobody wants to go in your house, there's something wrong. If we get a lot of hits on the internet and no one goes in, there's something wrong. So I lay the path, so to speak, from the day dot, that if none of this happens in 2 weeks, we need to have a meeting. And that's the way that I lay that. So in 2 weeks' time, when I ring up and say, no one's called off the sign, or this has happened or that's happened, I always say to them, the first home open should be full. You are a brand new listing on the market. Your first home open should be full. If it's not, we need to have a chat. So when it's not full, or we don't have the calls, or we don't get the hits on the internet, then I can say, do you remember when? And I can take them back to the appraisal section. And they go, yeah. And then we talk about a price reduction. And then when we talk about a price reduction, I say, this may create some interest and you may get someone come in fairly fast. But don't forget, your first offer is generally the best, and we'll do what we can. So you make an adjustment, someone comes flying through the door and goes, I'll take it. When you're going back, say, remember when I said. So, but if you don't do that, you're setting yourself up for, people take listings at 400. The price feedback from a buyer, 350, 350, 350, 350. They don't tell the owner because they're scared. That's your job. As a real estate agent, you have to tell the owner. You're hired to do that. So they go, cool, I'm not going to tell them 350. So it goes 350, 350. They write a cash off at 360. 10 grand above market value, but 40 grand below listing value. So when they go to the owner and they put it down and say it's 360 grand, oh my God, the feedback's been this, feedback's been that, you should take it, that's unbelievable. That's 10 grand above the arse, 10 grand above market value. The owner's going, that's 40 grand below what I'm on for. I'm not taking it. Who stuffed that deal? You. As the agent, you stuffed it. Feedback, information, that's your job. Negotiation, all the rest of the stuff. But feedback and information is your job to enable an owner to make a right decision with the information you've given them for when you bring something in.
Perfect.
That's what it's about.
You spoke about the two-step listing appraisal.
Yeah.
That was music to my ears.
Okay.
That's the way I operated. Everyone's talking about the one-step in. Again, can you talk?
Yeah.
Give us your
Okay, I always do 2 hits. Okay, so the 2 hits is, and there's a lot of people that do 1. And like I said in there, it's how you want to do it, but have information to trip up the person that do the opposite one to you. Okay, I do 2 hits. I tell them on the first one that I will pinpoint it if I can. So I give them some hope. But if I can't, I really need to do the feed, really need to do the study. They accept that. Everybody accepts it. I go and do it because on my first time around the home, I ask them about other stuff in the area. I ask them, have they seen stuff? Have they looked around? Have they done the home open circuit? Have they been in the one down the road? I heard it was very nice, or it wasn't too bad. They give me information. The information I'm drawing, though, is to find out where they think it sits. But I've got to make it clear, it's not where I'm going to tell them it sits, unless we agree. So if they're thinking 5, if they go the one down the road sold for 490, Lee, or was on for 490 and we're better, and I'm thinking, my God, they think 5 and I'm thinking 470. I need to get the information that shows them that it's worth 470. I need to find out if the one down the road achieved 490. If it did, get the information behind it. Did someone step off the plane from England, knew nothing about the area and bought it? Because if they did, we're about to waste 3 months hoping someone else steps off a plane. So I need to give the information to the owner for that reason. So my first hit is to find out about that. I'm also doing 2 hits now because when I come away from the first hit, I'm writing the advert for the home. So I write the ad. So I go away, we write the ad, and then we leave blank boxes in the like I bring back a brochure, and I also bring back 16 blank squares on an A4 piece of paper with the ad that's going on the net. So when I sit down in front of you, Greg, and I go, what about a backyard photo here? And you go, oh yeah, and I go, read the text. You go, that's great. I go, what about a kitchen here? What about this here? And I write in all the boxes in front of them where all their photos are going to go. Okay, they go, yeah, I really like that. Why would they not give you the business? You are halfway there. You're ready to go. When I leave, I just need a photographer to fill in the blanks and we're ready to go. So it's my way of having a look at the home, making up the brochure. No one else will do that. It's too much effort. And if I can do it listing 17 properties, you can do it.
Excellent. In a regional area, do you ask for marketing or?
We asked for $750 marketing is what we done. We had to do a shift about 2 years ago in our business where we had to make a decision. We do anywhere from 8 to 10 pages in the paper. That's what's established us as a business in Mandurah. So we between 8 to 10. We had to make a decision when everything was bad and say, right, we either need to get $750 off the owner so we can enable them to advertise in 10 pages. It's a benefit to them. Or we're going to have to cut back to 2 pages, the same as what everybody else is doing. We made the decision to give the owner the option because if we backed it down to 2 pages, they can choose any agency in our area and be in 2 pages. We give them an option, but it will cost them, it'll have a small investment on their behalf to do that. So we do ask VPA, we go for $750. That's their contribution towards the marketing campaign. We cover the rest. And that's how we sell it to them.